Ese posesión sexual.
Pasa que vos tenés
Hom-
una silla gamer y yo no, yo tengo la de madera.
Homosexual. Y bueno, yo gasté plata en mi comodidad. Vos
Sí,
gastaste plata en,
en, en mi,
en la...
en mi placer.
Ah, ¿cómo?
¿Cómo? No,
Don't even think about touching anything in this house, rat. Haven't you done me and my family enough harm already? You're just a lousy thief, like all the other cockroaches around here. Get out of here.
Okay.
No, wait, you're confused. I just wanted to clean up this mess a little. I just want to help you, okay?
Oh, yeah? Keep your hands off our things, you filthy rat. Understand?
Of course, understood. Whew.
¿Qué hago? ¿Voy allá o me voy a la mierda?
¿A dónde querés ir?
Acá.
No vas a poder.
Hello again.
They shot him! Those pigs shot my husband! And what are the three of us gonna do when my husband's gone? We'll lose everything!
Ya le preguntaste todo.
I should be going. Give me that.
I don't trust. First bring me...
Okay.
Ah,
Ah,
yo estoy en Next.
Oh no.
A ver.
It's starting again.
mira
It's
arriba.
amazing. Everything's changing. Everything.
Es como un ojo.
Es como el sol, pero está como con... Ahora es el sol.
Everything is mutating.
Ah, sí.
And I haven't even moved. I don't understand. I
No,
don't understand
no,
anything.
claro, no.
Lo re gritaba, ¿viste?
One of the many sentry towers surrounding the camp. And inside each and every one of them, there's a sniper, armed to the teeth and itching to shoot something. The view from here is incredible. Until you get a look from this height, it's impossible to get an idea of the true size of the refugee camp.
Ahora, ¿qué verga es eso?
That must be that strange phenomenon in the sky I've heard people talking about in the camp. The one that appeared just after the Great Wave. God is urging his angels to punish us through the wound. It says in the notebook I found in Rod's trailer. These kids must be the children of the mole and his wife. Isn't it awfully late for two kids this young to be out here by themselves? The older one can't be more than 10 or 11. A pile of stones and pebbles. That's the kids' entire arsenal. It looks like they do just fine with them. It's an old wooden pallet those kids painted a target on. The word pigs is scrawled in the center. Hi, kids.
Hello, sir.
What are you up to?
We're doing target practice. We're going to be real good shots. Someday, we'll get those pigs who shot Dad.
How awful. These children must have seen the cleanup brigades shoot their father out there. Poor kids. And how is the target practice going?
Bad at the moment. We need a real target, or we'll never be able to hit those soldiers.
Yeah, we need a better target. Hey, quit talking to that rat. He's not one of us. You know what Mom and Dad say about the people in the camp. Leave my brother alone. Get lost, rat.
Yeah, you're not one of us. Get lost, rat.
I'm not gonna pick them up. I'm sure it took the kids a long time to collect all those rocks for their target practice.
Un huevo.
Besides, I bet my aim is worse than theirs. Hi, kids.
Bad at the...
Hey, you.
Bueno. No puedo ir más.
It's
No hay
crazy.
nada para hacer acá.
Hundreds of miserable Where's the limit? How long would these people put up with being confined in this hellhole? They're used and empty. Why would I want... Better not. Knowing what's inside that room, I have no interest in going in.
Comida. Básicamente, comida. ¿Cómo?
Sí.
¿Cuándo? ¿Dónde? ¿Por qué? No sé.
No.
Coco. No.
Que conocemos una cocina, pero no sé. ¡Ah!
No,
¡Dale!
el tipo,
Ahí está.
con mucho habrá que comprar el tipo del bar.
Este.
Dice que
Si le doy bebida, dijo que tiene comida este.
Can I ask you a few questions?
I'll answer anything you want, as long as you don't get near my stuff.
Well,
No.
I'll be going on my way. Good luck to you, pal.
Just be...
Ah, tenés razón, a ver. Vamos a hablar con el... Necesito de plata.
Hello again.
What do you sell here?
For other types of goods?
Oh.
What do you need? Liquor?
I could use some food.
You're in luck. We have some of these emergency food rations the authorities distributed among the inhabitants of the camp in the first weeks after the Great Wave. You know, a bunch of them just happened to fall into our hands. What do you have to offer in exchange?
Would a bottle of liquor do?
Let me see. It's a good brand of whiskey, but the bottle's been opened, and there's a lot missing. I'd take it, but I'd need something more.
I'm afraid I have nothing more that can interest you.
Too bad, pal. Come back with something more, and the food's yours. You know how it works. We accept everything. Cash, jewelry, liquor, tobacco.
Tabaco.
joya.
Hello again.
¿Dónde puede haber joya?
I'm not really interested.
Hi, Mike. So what brings you here?
Nada.
I should be going.
Fine, Mike. Remember, dude, here we can get you whatever you need. No questions.
60. Bueno, me tengo que ir. Josh. Para mí debe ser el tabaco,
O eso. Una de esas dos.
A ver,
Plata no.
quítate.
Seguramente.
Hello, mister.
Still there.
I should be going on my way.
O de vuelta a la vieja de arriba. Pero no. O a la derecha. O atrás. Atrás duro, pero quién sabe. Es cerrado.
It's bolted from inside. This oven is empty. There's nothing left in there.
Para mí no hay nada ahí.
¿Jabón y nada ya en la caseta?
Para mí no hay nada ya en esa zona.
Con el chabón capaz. Ah.
Para mí es o a la derecha o arriba.
A la derecha.
No, digo. ¿Dónde está los mafiosos esos? O arriba de vuelta con la vieja, decirle, che, dame una joya que te traigo comida.
Ah, esa es buena.
Hello again.
They shot him! And what? We'll lose.
No. Nada.
Ah,
The three of you. I've already talked to your two boys out there.
Those two brats wear me down with their antics. I have to chase after them all the time.
They're just children.
What do you know, you rat? I have to run after them all the time. Those kids don't give me a minute's peace. It's exhausting.
The three of you. I've already talked to your...
Those two brats...
They're just...
What? Those kids don't give...
I should be going. Give me that pass for getting out of the camp, and I'll get you some morphine for your husband.
I don't trust... First bring me food for my children.
Okay.
Capaz tengo que agarrar, ¿no?
While she's here in the room, that woman is not going to let me touch anything in this house.
Hacer que los pendejos se vayan a la mierda. Que ya lo siga.
Hi, kids.
Bad at the moment. We need.
Yo. Hey,
Un mejor blanco.
quit talking to the... You know... Leave my...
Yeah.
Un mejor blanco.
Las latas, las latas, las latas, las latas. Lata, 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 lata.
De verdad, pará.
Mira qué bueno que se
Thank you. Now we'll really be able to become the best shots in the camp.
So now you're saying this rat isn't a rat?
No, I'm not. My name is Michael.
Hello, Michael.
La pregunta, la primera pregunta, las primeras, la primera, la segunda.
Why do you want to throw rocks at those soldiers?
We have to get revenge. We're big boys now. And that's what we gotta do. Those
Big boss.
pigs shot our dad. We heard him screaming. He's hurt real bad.
Mom said we'll never see him again.
Damn
No puede ser.
pigs! My brother and I are gonna get
¿Qué pasó?
them. All of them.
Ah,
But when they were dad's friends, you used to say you wanted to be a soldier when you grew up.
Shut up. That was before. I wish I could reach those watchtowers with my rocks.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
That's not a bad idea. Something tells me that little commotion along the barbed wire fence would be a good thing for everyone. It's pretty late for kids like you. What are you doing out in the street at this hour?
Hey, we're not kids. We have to practice our marksmanship. Our mom gets real mad when we do it inside the house. It's not like we have anywhere else to go in this dump.
Nowhere else to go? So you don't go to school?
No hay colegio.
Don't you have any friends from school?
There is no school. Not since the explosion.
Our mom says we don't need it anyway. We're big boys now, and someday we'll be very important people in the camp. Just like our dad. That's why we don't hang out with the other kids around here. Our parents say they're rats. They'd be a bad influence on us.
Yes, we're going to be brave and strong, like our dad. Right, Michael?
Of course you will.
Ah, o sea, no pasó hace mucho la explosión, porque si los pibitos te la vivieron...
2 años, ¿no? Menos.
Y dicen que iban al colegio, así que... ¿Cuándo empiezan en el colegio? ¿A los 6? Ponele. Ponele que tienen 10, 11, sí. Como máximo 6, 5 años.
I need your help, boys.
How can we help you, Michael?
I have to get something from inside your house.
Ah,
It's something I need so that I can help your father.
Sí.
Understand? But your mother is very agitated, and I need you to give me a hand with her. It's a mission.
What do you want us to do, Michael?
I need you to get your mother out of the house for a few minutes.
No era más
Just
fácil que diga,
long
no me
enough for
traes el
me to
paquete
go
de
in and
cigarrillo y
get what I
listo.
need. Do you think you can do that?
Of course, we're big boys.
I'll owe
No
you.
sé.
I promise to give you a reward.
Okay, let's do it.
A mission.
Es que si ya les va a decir, necesito que agarrar algo dentro de su casa.
Agarra la piedra.
I'm not going to pick them up. I'm sure besides.
Dale.
I bet my aim is...
Los patrones. Ya empecé a agarrar todo lo que pueda.
Toque.
One of the looted... Nothing of interest.
Todo lo que tenga la manito. Nada.
Listo, no.
I have no interest.
Listo, tenemos tabaco. Agarramos la comida Y nos vamos para afuera.
Oh, my head!
Oh.
What the hell's going on? Oh, God! My head feels like it's gonna explode!
Michael, please, help us. Help us. Please, remember, Beechwood Oracle.
Repent! It's the sun! Was it our fault? Did we do it? Yes! We did it!
Enough! Please! Enough!
Please, Michael, help us. Only you can do it. Remember, Beechwood Oracle.
Good God! What are these images? And that woman's voice? It's the same one that woke me up in the trailer. I'm trying to remember! And stop tormenting me! I hope Rod helps me find some answers. If not, I'll go mad. Absolutely mad.
Beechwood Oracle. Dale.
An open pack of filter cigarettes. And it's half empty. That's funny. I can't remember whether or not I smoked before the Great Wave.
Pará. ¿Lo escuchaste?
¿Qué cosa?
Se escuchó un regrito. O capaz
No.
fue el...
No.
¿Dónde puedo conseguir dinero, no?
¿Para qué? Ah, ¿para eso?
Sí.
Afuera. Te vayas por eso.
Estaba en la casa de Luli con Dami y no podía mirar el partido de River porque no tenía pack fútbol. Entonces sé que estaba jugando el PSG y le dije, bueno, ponle el PSG.
Hello again.
Sí.
I could use some food.
You're in luck.
Sí,
We
sí,
among
sí.
you know what do you have?
¿Te imaginas que te... A ver.
Could you give it to me on credit until I get something to trade for it?
Sorry. This
I have this pack of cigarettes.
Date.
Virginia tobacco. There's not much of this in the camp. That's a good start. But it's not enough. The pack's been open and several
Ya, Mike.
Fantastic. I think that's a fair price. I'll take
Mira,
both of them.
recagaron.
Here you go, pal. The food package is all yours.
Sí,
Enjoy
pero
it
bueno.
in good health.
Por esa cagadita encima.
Sí, una botella de whisky que no se encuentra. Y un paquete de cigarrillos que tampoco dice que se encuentra. Una cajita de comida. A ver si te peloteo me dice algo.
Hi, Mike.
No.
Do the words Beechwood Oracle mean anything to you?
No. Sorry, dude. Doesn't ring a bell. What is it? Some kind of riddle or play on words?
I don't know. Someone told me about it, and I'm curious. That's all. I should be going now.
Fine, Mike. Remember, dude, here we can get you whatever... No.
¿Cuánto que pasa? Ya no sabes, boludo.
Sí, puede ser. Rescate.
Ah, pará. Va, no. ¿Qué?
Ah.
Okay, here goes. It's impossible to budge these drums at all. I don't know what they contain, but whatever it is, it weighs a ton. Okay. It's impossible.
Hay que para viejito, ¿sabes?
Hello, mister.
Still there.
No.
I should be going on.
A ver.
Can I ask you a few questions?
I'll answer anything.
Well,
No.
Yo igual no sé si cuando aparece en blanco es porque tiene información nueva o se bugueó o...
No, porque es como que lo toman de nuevo. Ah, a ver, espera, a ver. Porque ese
can I
cuéntame de
ask you a
nuevo,
few questions?
I'll answer.
Can you tell me everything you know about the Great Wave again?
Okay, I'll tell you what I know. The great wave hit us one Friday. I made a lot of money. First, we felt the ground quake, then came the explosion in just a few hours.
The Dark Ages.
Of course, in a matter of minutes, and after the initial chaos, that stupid breach up there that no one in this hellhole has bothered to explain to us. The fact is that the remains of
the new world.
Yes, indeed. You can welcome to the future.
Could you
explain what exactly? Someone got to. There's usually a pact of silence in the camp, but in this case, the dissolved was a relative of what.
But they shot a man.
Yes. The price of human life has got.
Let's talk about something else. Well,
bye.
Just be.
I have no intent. There's nothing.
No, ahí tampoco.
Vale.
A la mina ya está. La mina te da el pase te vas. Y andas a ver qué viene después. Bueno.
The box says, Government Rescue Campaign. Sales of these foodstuffs is prohibited. I have no doubt whatsoever. The hunter and his men must have lost their scruples in the Great Wave. That is, if they had any to begin with. Here, this is what I promised you.
That's all the food you brought? This will barely feed us for 2 days.
I'm sorry, it's very complicated getting more in the camp. I only wanted to show you that you can trust me, that I can help you.
That's what all you rats in this trash heap say? But in the end, only thing you're interested in is taking advantage of my husband and me.
I've held up my part of the bargain. Isn't that proof enough? Listen, let me have that pass to get out of the camp, and I promise I'll come back with the morphine you need to ease your husband's suffering.
Ah, okay. But you better hurry. Here.
What's this? A bracelet?
It's like an ID badge. Wear it and the soldiers will recognize you. It won't just get you out of the camp. It'll also help you avoid all kinds of problems with the army once you reach the city. I'm not sure I'm doing the right thing by giving it to you. Just don't betray me, you rat. Bring me that morphine from my husband and I promise you, I'll give you lots of money in return. Much more money than you could earn in a lifetime in this shithole.
No, that's not necessary. We never said anything about money.
I have to know you're coming back. I don't trust any of you. And I know that money is the only thing that'll make you keep your word. All you camp rats are alike. Now get out of my sight and don't make me regret this. And don't come back without my husband's morphine. There'll be a fat wad of cash waiting for you.
Okay.
Bien, nos fuimos. Mira, porque en teoría es difícil, es imposible salir como 20 minutos y ya salí.
It's an ID bracelet that identifies me as an army. Wearing one of these brings certain privileges. I can't quite see how to use this ID bracelet.
Go through that gate.
No.
Do you need to get a closer look at what I have on my wrist?
Wait a minute. Look, he's got on one of those ID bracelets the camp moles wear. Those cockroaches are very useful to us in here. Lower your gun and let him leave.
You heard him. Get out of here, rat.
Capaz necesito la moto.
No, intentaba, chao, nos vemos.
Use this here? How?
No puedo.
I don't mean to bother you, but...
Hey, it's...
Nice motorcycle.
It is, isn't it? It's ours. So get anywhere near it, and you'll end up against that wall.
You don't have the authority to touch it, or point at it, or even look at it.
Dare to touch it with your grubby hands. And you...
Okay. I won't bother you.
Get...
Espera.
A mí me gustó más.
¿Y para qué será la moto entonces?
So, I enter the city. It welcomes me with its most merciless and bitter grimace. What I see before my eyes is not what I expected. Doomsday made it here, too. Even if no one in the refugee camp knows it yet. Damn it. The city looks as bruised and battered by the catastrophe as the rest of us.
Ah, que todo. Uy, vamos a necesitar esas pinzas.
Ciudadela, el juego.
The traffic in this part of the city must have been especially
Acá tiene
now.
semáforo.
You can barely hear the sound of the few army vehicles still circulating in the surrounding areas. 3 people warming themselves by the fire, as if their thoughts were also burning in that rusty old drum. What the hell is that old man trying to do with that enormous pair of bolt cutters? He can hardly get his hands around them. Dozens of posters, all shredded, charred or half torn off. This wall must have been used for advertising before the Great Wave. One of them in particular catches my eye. A dirty window at ground level for ventilation. It's the only opening this building. There's an advertising poster covering part of the glass at the moment. A few buildings are still standing, but most of them are propped up or about to fall down, with a handful of city dwellers in the street that look like automatons or sleepwalkers. But there's no doubt about it. I'm on the 5th Avenue of Doomsday City. It's the silhouette of the soldiers guarding the street from around the corner. It seems like those uniformed psychopaths' rifles are projected onto each and every corner of the city.
Bueno, a ver.
Judging from what remains of the stained glass windows and the murals, this pile of rubble must have been a place of worship before the Great Wave struck. Now it's one of the most badly damaged buildings in the area.
Está prendido fuego, ¿no?
Sí.
Ahora con lo dijiste primero.
Help me, please! Help me! Don't let them find me in the street after curfew. They'll take me to the refugee camp. Help me, please! But don't make any noise. There's a patrol just round the corner.
Le preguntaba a las medicinas de ver que están intentando.
But what is he gonna need me to do?
It's almost curfew. I need a place to sleep. I need a place to hide, or they'll send me to the refugee camp. Don't you understand?
What is all this about a curfew?
At curfew, the soldiers want the streets cleared. And the way they see it, if you're out on the street after curfew, it means that you've got nowhere to go. You don't have a home. You don't belong here. And that makes you a rat. And so they take you to the refugee camp. I can't go to the camp. Understand? I can't go there.
You need a roof over your head, and you don't have anywhere to go.
I used to, but it doesn't exist anymore. I owned an apartment a few blocks from here. The block was badly damaged by the Great Wave, but it was still standing.
And what happened to your home?
This morning, we had to evacuate the area in a hurry. We ran out in the streets with whatever we had on. Apparently, the foundation was starting to crumble. And a few hours later, all that was left of my home was a pile of smoking rubble, with 40 years of memories buried beneath it. But I can't let them take me to the camp. I need to get into another house before the curfew. Please, help me.
Cambiando de tema. Nada,
¿Se le cambia?
Okay, give me those bolt cutters. I'll
Pero
see
capaz
what I
entre
can
y no le
do.
puedo hablar más.
This house was empty, but the army has sealed it off. If I can just get this padlock off before curfew, I'll be safe. I need to get in here. But please, don't make too much noise. If the soldiers find us, they won't hesitate to kill us.
Muy bien.
Nada, estúpido.
Impossible. I'm sorry. I can't do anything with this.
I need to get in there. I need to get in.
I'm looking for a place. Something like a pharmaceutical warehouse. Would you know anything about that?
I don't really know. There's a small medical center just outside the city limits. I suppose you mean that, right? They built it in a hurry, just knocked it together after the Great Wave. No one really knows what it's for, but there are vehicles going in and out of the place all the time. Whatever they're doing in there, they're keeping it very secret. Not even my daughter would tell me what goes on inside.
Did you say your daughter?
Yes, my daughter. My little Uma. She works there as a nurse. I'm afraid she left me. I suppose she got tired of living with a frail, sick old man like me. Because one day she simply left the house, and I haven't seen her since. It's been months now. I think she was right to leave me. These times are hard enough. You don't want to burn yourself with someone like me.
I'm sorry. I can't help you.
Help me, please.
Hello, friend. You look lost. Come over by the fire.
It's dying down, but maybe it'll last until curfew.
As long as those uniformed psychopaths don't decide to end our little get-together first, of course.
Hey, look! One of those magic bracelets from the camp. They say that place is a real hellhole. A kind of living death. So, you've come back from the dead. Do they call you Lazarus?
Well, you could put it that way. You were saying something about a curfew. What time does it start exactly?
Well, it depends on the mood of the soldiers in this zone. But you know it's time to go home when they start taking their guns out of their holsters.
Today they're extremely jumpy. I don't think it'll be long before they start insulting people and hitting them with their rifle butts.
You guys are awfully hard on them. It's just their crude way of showing us affection.
Oh, shut up. In any case, you don't have to worry. That bracelet means you don't have to hide from them. You know, that's one of the privileges that comes with it.
And you? Do you people have to hide?
We try to stay out of their way. The first rule is, be home before curfew. Anyone who isn't gets dragged off to refugee camp. That's one of the strictest laws the Great Wave imposed upon this city.
And do you know how things are elsewhere? Do you get news from outside?
I'm afraid not. With no communications or transportation, and with the army on every corner, we are totally cut off.
Who cares anyway? When you don't know from one day to the next if you're gonna be alive, there's no time to worry about what happens 100, 1,000, or 100,000 miles away.
I understand. Why are you afraid of the soldiers? I'd heard that things function better here.
I don't know where you heard that, friend, but whoever told you that was lying. Here, things are very ugly and getting uglier every day. Everything's in short supply: water, food, medicine.
We have a surplus of just two things: misery and violence. Life is cheap here, and getting cheaper all the time, especially since the army took over.
The army? I see. And what happened to the other authorities? The politicians? The laws?
Those are distant memories from the old world, my dear. Get them out of your head, because all that collapsed like a house of cards. Since the Great Wave, no one's got any plan, strategy. We're all adrift.
He's right. The most reliable thing we have left is what you see around the corner. Armed teenagers in uniform on the streets, on the rooftops, just as scared as we are, or more, and shooting anything that moves.
I think our common destiny is to finally die of starvation, of disease, or boredom. I don't know which of the three options I find the most cruel. Who knows? Maybe the most sensible thing is to organize a group excursion and break into Suicide Park.
Suicide Park? Don't call it that. It's not funny. That name's as stupid as that hospital they built in such a hurry next to it. It's crazy. The entire city is starving and sick, and the soldiers keep those medical facilities locked up like Fort Knox.
But what good is it having medical facilities if no one can use them? I don't understand.
No one does, friend, but that's the way it is. I don't know why anyone would want to go into that building, but I can assure you that they're not going to get treated for anything in there, not even for a miserable cold.
Besides, it's a real fortress. The person would be more likely to come out sick from an overdose of gunpowder and lead. You know how it is, dear. There's no cure for love or death. Hey, I like that last phrase. It would make a good opening line for a story.
Oh, will you shut up for once, Ramon? Don't pay any attention to him. In the old world, he earned his living writing stories, and he still thinks that all that waste paper might someday be useful after the Great Wave.
And in fact, it is. A good deal of that scrap paper is fueling this bonfire right now, dear. So I can consider my literary career to have been worthwhile.
Did you say Suicide Park? Someone in the camp told me about that place.
And the first dark stars come out to hang from the sky. We could sit and count them together, you and I.
When the sun departs from Suicide Park. Yes, I recognize the song. But what the hell is it? Is there really a place with that name?
Yes, it exists. After the Great Wave, and when things were starting to get really ugly here, the weakest among us eased their suffering with a bullet, by overdosing, or by jumping from high places. You know how it is. All those dark stars had a hard time finding a reason to go on living.
There was a terrible wave of suicides, and there still is.
The problem is at some point a problem arose. How should I put it? A serious logistical problem. Access to drugs and firearms became practically impossible. So the easiest thing was to grab a rope or a belt and go to Suicide Park after dark.
There was a time when it was hard to find a free branch anywhere in the park.
The suicides in the area multiplied at such a rate that the army closed down the park. They said for public health reasons.
For months, the only thing blooming in that park were the corpses of the hanged. The place became more like a theme park. Lots of fun for everyone.
I told you not to make jokes about that. Don't you have any respect for anything?
Of course not. That was one of the many things I lost in the Great Wave. And one of the things I missed the least, believe me.
Thanks for the chat.
Thanks for the company, friend.
Además de la iglesia, ¿puedes ir a otro lado?
No.
Perfecto. Ay, para la derecha.
Send us a sign, Lord. We need a sign from you.
Hey, wait a minute. I know that voice.
Are we guilty of arousing your rage? Did we do it? Speak with your tongue of fire, Lord. Purge us with unrelenting justice. Send us a sign. Is this our doing? Are you punishing us for our arrogance? Unleash your thunderous voice, Lord. Release us from this intolerable uncertainty. Did we do it? Send us a sign.
I'm getting a strong impression that man's a fanatic and a little bit deranged, but his sermon made me curious. What could he mean by, "we did it"?
The thunderous voice of your angels.
The remains of the stained glass window that went with the intact one on the other side of the door of the church. The Great Wave must have shattered it. In fact, there are still a few glass shards scattered on the floor. A handful of tiny shards of brightly colored. The remains of the stained glass window on the side of the church, destroyed by the Great Wave.
That is your sign.
A few parishioners listened to the words of the preacher, mesmerized. Although I'm sure that, like me, they can't decipher the meaning of his mystical rants either.
Send us a sign.
Seated on these disarranged pews, some people are listening to the preacher. Others just nod off. I guess they don't have anywhere else to go. This column fragment must have fallen off one of the walls during the catastrophe. Now it's keeping the pedestal of the statue company. The only statue in this place still standing. It's Saint... what's his name? Patron saint of... who knows what. I'm afraid that if I ever was alive, all that information has also been blanked.
We still have time.
¿Se puede tocar?
Le toco los huevos.
Oh, no. La manopla.
The catastrophe caused a lot of damage to the statue's pedestal. The fact that the statue is still standing is a miracle. Considering the condition of the rest of the church, it's amazing that the stained glass window is still in place and practically intact. Such little light that gets in from the street gives it a ghostly appearance.
Ah, no era fuego, era el coso.
No, fue la luz. Pasado.
Oh no! Here comes that sensation again. It's like floating in a dense liquid, while everything around me is transformed.
Good God, I think I'm starting to lose my mind.
Este fue más corto, pero fue para el sopada.
This enormous stone cross casts a giant shadow across the aisle of the church. Perhaps that wasn't the original intention, but the result is pretty gloomy and menacing.
The thunderous voice of your angels through the gash. That is your sign.
O sea, puedes tocar la estatua y hablar con el tigre, ¿no?
The catastrophe caused a lot of damage. This is a miracle. I'm not going to interrupt him in the middle of his sermon.
Did we do it?
That must be Reverend Blake. I don't understand a word of that man's sermon. And could that be the reason why everyone reveres him?
No se pasa nada.
Tomorrow comes today. There's something about the composition that's strangely familiar to me. Some memory related to my former life, perhaps? Or maybe it's just a memory glitch caused by the Great Wave.
Vos sos el viejo.
¿Este?
No. El de la estatua.
¿Qué?
I can't help staring. It says it. What the?
Vos sos el de la estatua. Estoy seguro.
¿Está pelado?
Bueno, ¿qué quiere que haga?
They come from one of the church's. They're pretty and eye-catching, and have a nice.
Fiery voice, Lord. Send us a sign.
Vamos a seguir al otro lado.
¿Por qué se escucha con eco si está todo roto, no?
I'm not going to interrupt.
¿Escuchas las voces?
Illuminate us with your
No.
fiery voice,
A ver, para.
Lord. Send us a sign.
¿Para qué hablar el boludo este? Susurros.
Sí. Las pisadas tienen eco. Y nada que ver.
What was formerly the entrance to a subway stop is now a bunker reinforced with bricks and cement. A moldy sign says, "Subway service suspended until further notice." I imagine the train tunnels were flooded or ruined after the Great Wave.
Oh.
This fence protects the compound on all four sides, as impenetrable and menacing as the one around the refugee camp. It seems like barbed wire barricades are the only architecture possible in this new world. It's one of the ways into the city's sewer system. The Great Wave wrecked this place. Did the same thing happen down there?
Va a ser muy pesado.
So, let's see. Impossible. It's not that it's super heavy.
Bueno.
It's that there's hardly any place to insert your fingers to lift this manhole cover.
Me cerró el culo.
Closed for public health reasons is written on this piece of wood nailed to the stump. Wait a minute. Health? With no A?
Escribir necesito. Higiene.
Southside Park. Would you believe it? This must be the famous suicide park I've been hearing so much about.
Y eso a la izquierda al fondo
The
es el
pun
coso.
is as witty as it is macabre.
Sí, la verdad.
Judging from its girth, this giant must have lived for hundreds of years before someone got the bright idea of cutting it down. Now the stump is guarding the entrance to the park. It's rather disconcerting to see such a small building surrounded by such extreme security measures. Could this be the medical center people have been telling me about? A bucolic fountain covered with ivy and moss. The park's desolation gives it an air. In its day, it must have been home to a school of goldfish, which I... The park is closed down, and the front gate is locked shut. If I want to get in there, it won't be...
¿No tenés nada para hacer ahí?
No.
¿Y cómo ¿Cómo podés abrir la puerta del viejo? Hablarle al pelotudo que está hablando.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Sure. Can't you see that we're very busy?
What goes on inside that church? Has everyone gone completely crazy?
Are you referring to the pastor and his flock? Oh, don't pay too much attention to them. Reverend Blake is a good man. He helped a lot of people after the Great Wave. But he gradually started to lose his mind until he reached the state he's in now.
Well, I stop by once or twice to listen to him preach. The days are long. You have to find something to do. I try to go at this time of day. There are fewer people because it's almost curfew time. The Reverend seems obsessed with that atmospheric phenomenon in the sky, and with religious themes of guilt and repentance. Although I think he's actually just talking about himself. But the most surprising thing about all this is that he has hundreds of followers. And he's attracting more and more all the time from all over the city. And they even let him into the refugee camp once in a while to preach there. People adore him.
Why does that surprise you? We've been following sane leaders since time began. And look where that got us. Maybe it's time to start following the crazier ones.
Well, that's the most sensible thing I've heard you say all day.
Atmospheric phenomenon? Are you referring to the gash in the sky? In the camp, no one knows what it is.
On this side of the fence, the authorities have come up with their own scientific term: atypical controlled turbulence in the upper ionosphere. Though I suppose that's just a fancy way of telling us that they have no idea what the hell it was that split the sky in two after the Great Wave.
It makes my blood run cold when that aberration starts to grind out that noise like a piece of rusty machinery.
I wish those scrambled little clouds up there were the worst of our problems, dear.
Oh, shut up.
¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué dijiste? Ah.
Thanks for the chat.
Thanks for the company,
Tiene ruido máquina. No sé qué dijo. No se puede ir para la izquierda. ¿No?
A chain with a padlock. Huh. Let's not waste any more.
No, oh. Ah, ahora acá.
Hay basura ahí.
Pago, empecé nuestro. Pago debe ser.
Ah, clavos agarraste.
The nails that held up the sign
Con la
announcing the
madera.
closure of Suicide Park. They're incredibly rusty. But considering the epidemic of the dissolved, tetanus is the least of my worries at the moment. Impossible. It's beyond my reach. The bars are... A few yards away I can see a great mass of trash that accumulated in there in the years since this water outlet was last cleaned. Ugh. Even from here I can smell the stench coming from inside. In the distance, the other end of this tunnel fades out of sight among the shadows. Where does it lead? Thick bars at the end of the pipe block the opening to the outside. Extremely hard and solid, I'm afraid.
Ah, que no se puede romper.
Impossible. It's impossible.
Ah,
Sí. Buenas.
It's the charred remains of a tree trunk, fighting to keep from being devoured by the enormous hole in the ground. For the moment, it's holding its own. It seems firmly rooted in the soil. I suppose the rain has been flooding the pit little by little. This water is so dark you can't even see the bottom. It looks like there are some chiseled stone structures sticking out of the water. What are they? The remains of columns, perhaps? And what are they doing sunk here in the middle of nowhere? It seems like a small fragment of one of them is loose. I can't reach it from here. Maybe I should find a way to get to the bottom of this enormous hole first.
Y necesitas volver. A Troven. O sea, a la ciudad, digo.
This hole in the ground is steep walls of mud and earth. The distance to the bottom is several yards. How the hell was this cesspit formed?
Sí. Capaz más. No.
No creo que haya nada acá, la verdad. La verdad. Porque la de arriba quiere el coso, la del derecho
In the
quiere plata,
distance,
atrás
I
no hay
can see the
nadie.
skyline of the...
Y a la izquierda, nada. Todo ahí. Ahí, ahí.
I need to get in here.
I'm sorry.
Help.
Ya te dije, para mí se va a callar el viejo cuando tires la estatua.
¿La qué?
La estatua.
Se va a caer. ¿Cómo? ¿Para cómo?
Adentro de la iglesia.
Se va a callar.
Se va a caer el tipo que vos no empezás a hablar porque está hablando todo el tiempo. Necesitas que se calle. Otra cosa, no se me ocurre.
Did we do it? Are we the guilty ones?
I'm not going to interrupt him in... I'm not going to interrupt him in the middle of...
The thunderous voice of your angels.
I'm not going to give it to anyone. I'm sure this poster hides some important information. Although, it could also be that my faulty... I prefer to hold on to it.
Illuminate us with your
It's a wooden
fiery
plank with a
voice,
badly written
Lord.
message.
Send us a sign.
It doesn't seem like a good idea. I'm not going to interrupt him in the middle of...
Estatua.
¿Estatua?
The thunderous voice of your
De alguna manera tenés que poder tirar, boludo.
That is your
Pero
The
que casi se
catastrophe
mueve.
caused a
O
lot of
sea,
damage to the
tenés que
statue's
usar con
pedestal.
algo.
Is a miracle. Let's see. If I wedge one of the ends of the plank under the statue's pedestal, the other part will rest directly in the base of the toppled column.
Okay.
The catastrophe caused is a miracle.
We're waiting, Lord. Did we do it? Illuminate us. Send us a sign with your just and vengeful arm. Is this our fault? Listen! It's the fiery breath of God.
Ahora es como un ojo,
The
boludo.
Lord has sent us his sign. And I was right. It is all our fault. We did it, and we have aroused his fury.
But what the hell's going on here?
Look, that's the sign. Forgive us, Lord. Forgive us. Repent, all ye sinners.
It's the atmospheric phenomenon I've been hearing so much about. That infernal sound coming from the crack in the sky. It's terrifying.
That is the sign. We did it. Forgive us, Lord. Forgive us. My children, God has spoken to us with his darkest voice. Haven't you heard him? But there's still time. All is not lost. We still have time. Salvation lies in the place where it all began, in the ruins, at the source. We must return to the ruins of the temple. We must return. We must.
Oh.
Se cansó.
Desapareció.
Well, look at that. Next to this enormous hunk of glass, the color... I'd better get rid of them.
No.
¿Lo tiró?
A hard, thick piece of glass.
Mejor me deshago de ellos. Lo tiró a la mierda.
Sí, bro.
This is a stone fragment that served as a fulcrum for my
Pará, igual
level.
el viejo estaba
Physics and
sentado delante de
religion
todo.
in
¿Dónde estaba?
peaceful coexistence. And with
Al
no
lado de
need
la
to
vieja.
burn anyone at the stake.
No, este es el...
Reverend Blake is totally overwhelmed. It looks like the crack in the man's message intrigues me. Hello. I heard your sermon and...
Yeah, God has shown us his sign. He has finally spoken to all of us. With his thunderous voice, he has revealed the unknown. We did it. It's all our fault. We did it. But there's still time. All is not lost. There's still time to avoid it. The head of the lion above the flames holds the key to everything.
But what is it we did?
Time is the will of God. It is his heart and his hammer. The centuries and the ages belong solely to him. The celestial empire is a divine clock. Time rotates around God. Its hands are his angels and archangels. Now I see it all clearly. How could we have been so stupid? Our arrogance had enraged him. That's what we did.
This man is definitely crazy. Nothing he says makes any sense.
I beg you, leave my brother in peace. He's very upset.
We did what? I'm sorry, but I didn't understand a word you just said.
We sullied his name. We didn't know that each second is a drop of Christ's blood, and that only he can reign over the interval, over the infinite mysticism of the fragment. Only he can reign over time with his incandescent omnipotence, and we were unable to see it. And now he is enraged, and we're to blame. That's what we did.
I still don't understand what it is we did.
Each cycle is a fluorescent gust of God's will, don't you see? Can't you see it? He reigns over the days and the hours from the inscrutable luminescence of his dwelling place. And we are just instants that slip through his fingers. Time is his, and his alone. And we tried to wrest it from him. That's what we did.
What signs are you referring to?
The dark angels of God clamor madly through the open wound that is bleeding the kingdom of heaven dry. Haven't you heard? They were speaking with a thunderous voice. God is furious. That is his sign.
I suppose in his delirium, the man has mistaken that strange sound coming from the gash in the sky left by the great wave as a sign from the heavens. He's definitely lost his mind.
Please be so kind as to leave us in peace. Can't you see that my brother is very agitated?
No.
Tell me, what is it that we can still prevent?
The wrath of God, the destruction of man. There's still time. We did it, but we still have time. The key is in the ruins of the temple. We have to find the ruins of the temple. Look for the head of the lion above the flames. Bring me the head of the lion above the flames while there's still time.
But this church is already in ruins. It hardly has any walls or a foundation left. You're already in the ruins of the temple.
No, you're mistaken. Bring me the head of the lion above the flames.
That's enough. Stop tormenting my brother. He's exhausted.
The head of the lion above the flames? That sounds absurd. It makes no sense.
¿Qué?
Cuando apareció por primera vez eso de Bigfoot no sé qué. ¿Te acordás?
¿Dónde?
Que fue como una de esas cosas que vamos del futuro al pasado, pero fue más largo, fue más, como más importante.
Ah, sí.
Ahí apareció un coso de un león. Estoy seguro. Seguro.
I assume you're referring to the
Pero no
atmospheric
sé qué significa.
phenomenon in the sky caused by the Great Wave.
No, no! It's the stench of human arrogance that made the gears of the gates of hell grind. And now they're opening up like a festering wound. That is...
Excuse me, but I don't...
We've lacerated the sacred skin. We've betrayed him. We've stabbed him with our infinite arrogance. And you can see through that gash, Lucifer, Satan is calling each and every one. That is...
I think it's best...
Yes.
There's still... Bring me the head.
She meditates in silence, resigned, and I guess it falls to her to take care of him night and day.
¿Qué escribiste?
Oh, my head! What the hell's going on?
Ah, bueno, a ver si está.
My head feels like it's gonna explode!
Michael, please, help us, help us. Please, remember, Beechwood Oracle.
Repent! It's the sign! Was it our fault? Did we do it? Yes! We did it!
Enough! Please! Enough!
Please, Michael, help us. Only you can do it. Remember, Beechwood Oracle.
Good God, what are these images? And that woman's voice.
No sé por
It's
qué
the same
me
one
suena
that
algo
woke
visto
me
en
up in
algún
the
momento.
trailer. I'm trying to remember. Stop tormenting me.
I hope Rod helps me find some answers. If not, I'll go mad. Absolutely mad.
¿Dónde se va?
Los hijos de confirmaron diciendo, creo que ese chico merece una recompensa. Milla me recompensará cuando consigamos fin. Vos conocen un secreto mío. Llevarle la cabeza de Alianza de allá.
Estoy seguro que ya lo vimos, Jaime, estoy seguro, no sé dónde.
Ah, espera, ahí vengo.
Starting again. It's amazing. Everything's changing. Everything. Everything is mutating, and I haven't even moved. I don't understand. I don't understand anything. No. Here comes that sensation again. It's like floating in a dense liquid, while everything around me is transformed.
Good God. I think I'm starting to lose my mind.
It's starting again. It's amazing. Everything's changing. Everything. Everything is mutating, and I haven't even moved. I don't understand. I don't understand anything. No. Here comes that sensation again. It's like floating in a dense liquid, while everything around me is transformed. Good God. I think I'm starting to lose my mind. Starting again. It's amazing. Everything's changing. Everything. Everything is mutating, and I haven't even moved. I don't understand. I don't understand anything. Oh no. Here comes that sensation again. It's like floating in a dense liquid, while everything around me is
¿Qué pasó acá?
Pasó hace como 15 veces que te fuiste.
¿En serio?
Efectivamente.